Hello guys! So today's vlog guys is mamumukbang tayo guys ng lechon kawali. Ayan guys, so ito na Irina. Look nyo guys. Tapos meron tayong pipino. Tapos sausawan. Ayan. So kakain kami ng anak ko. Si hi nak.
Hi.
Hi! So kain po tayo guys! Kain po tayo guys! Tapos meron tayong kanin guys. Ako kasama ng kamay guys ha. Mayroon tayong kanin guys na basmati rice. Yan, galing Dubai pa to guys. So kasama kong kakain ang aming unico iho. So nandyan siya. Ayan siya guys oh. Kasama kong kakain. Yan.
Fly?
Yes, it's okay na. So kain po tayo guys. Ito na ako. Ang slime ako na.
Ako.
You want it? You like it? Kain po tayo. Unang subo para sa inyo. Sarap na magkamay. Favorite na itong ano eh. Mga nag-ayos na ito eh. Kauntan nyo. Kain po tayo. Tapos may sausawan pa.
A shot at putting their parts back into production so that they could keep themselves running. What this all seems to suggest is that if a vehicle like Doc, for example, no longer had access to new parts for his vehicle model, then anything from a small crash to a simple mechanical failure could have halted his ability to drive. Back in the 50s, when the fabulous Hudson Hornet was a wrecked racer, he was a common young car. So presumably, it would have been simpler in those days to get back on the road. But by the time he met Lightning, he was no longer any guarantee that he would be when damages inevitably came his way, because there was never any certainty that he would have the parts he needed to
Sana kayo guys tayo alam.
This line looks like.
Kaya ako guys, kasi na kayo guys, kasi nanonood sa YouTube. Kaya medyo maingay. Masarap.
Don't even know how their own chassis might be used in the process to create a new vehicle. I mean, remember, we even see a Pope in Cars 2, which implies that there's a history of car Catholicism in this world. And that opens up the door to even more existential beliefs on where cars might come from. Some vehicles believe in a car god, others are spiritually connected to the parts that live within them. In the Art of Planes, we're told that the Tibetan monastery-inspired airport deep in the Himalayas had a spark plug shape on top of it because it is viewed as the spark of life. Now, how the first spark plug was constructed or how it ignited sentient thoughts within ancient vehicles seems to be beyond that, which I think shows that the process for cars to come to life must be more complex than just a simple assembly line or factory.
No way.
Ayan. Kain po. Sarap.
They wouldn't have had to go through the process of domestication to integrate them into their farms. Oh, of course, there are a lot of examples of wild vehicles existing. There are bugs and little planes. And it's actually those little planes that I believe give us a huge insight into our understanding of how cars are born. You see, in Planes Fire and Rescue, we're showing wild planes.
I think that's good you put it in the slime. But how about the food?
And they do not behave as full-sized vehicles. The baby planes were significantly smaller than their parents, which reveals that cars grow over time into adults. When you go back through the Cars trilogy, there are a variety of little cars that pop up here and there as well. But how could all this be possible? Well, so far we've only been discussing one of the systems that exist within cars. We've only focused on the mechanics that allows cars to drive. But I think the systems that actually keep cars alive are completely separate. You see, we've always known that cars had a mouth and eyes.
Kapag guys, pag niluluto ako ng lechon kawali, talaga, yung niluluto ko na rice talaga guys is basmati. Ayan. So, sa mga hindi alam, pwede rin ka mag-order sa Shopee o Lazada. Meron yan.
all the way back in the original Cars movie. We saw Lightning McQueen jump onto another vehicle's tires during the Unico 400. In the same race, when Lightning popped his tires, he dragged himself to the finish line by hopping and scooting his way across. And later on, when Lightning ran out of gas, he could still rotate his tires and shimmy around to talk to Sally and the
Sarap
sheriff.
talaga.
If he was a real car, running out of gas would mean that eventually all of Lightning's systems would shut down. But he doesn't. There's aspects of his body that he can still control no matter what. Even without gas, Lightning remained fully sentient and alive. And Cars on the Road takes this idea one step further by showing us Mater coming face to face.
Minsan lang kami nang makapagluto nito, guys.
It's an insane moment
Kasi
because it
nga,
shows us
siyempre, ano din naman,
has a soul.
di ba ano to eh, oily foods. Di ba minsan lang. Saka minsan na rin, minsan to bayarong extra na pera, di ba? Kasi mahal yung baboy, di ba? No? Pero minsan. Pag may sobra yung pera. Yep. Cars on the Road, when Lightning McQueen enters a haunted house, he comes face to face with real ghosts. It's clear that the cars aren't just some kind of hyper-intelligent machine. They are truly alive. Production designer Harley Jessup even explained in The Art of Cars 2 that when you see smashed car bodies in this world, you realize they are the skeletons of living creatures.
My food!
Cars on the Road takes this
I see it.
further too by explaining that there is a living essence and vital fluids within a car's husk. While I do believe vehicles require a complex array of machinery to drive, fly, and sail, I don't think those
Tapos
mechanical
ang pipino din, guys, masarap
functions and
din.
systems are what actually keeps a vehicle alive. I think within each vehicle's metal
Favorite
body,
din ng anak
there
namin to,
actually exists a living and breathing organism.
At no?
I think I remember I eat this.
With Papa, di ba? Together with Papa, remember mo?
Oh yeah, that's long time ago.
That is a long time ago.
So long.
So, magdagdag ko ng kanin.
Holly Schiffwell was able to, from being produced by
Napa-extra rice arena, guys. Oh.
Here's how I think this all fits
Excuse.
together. See, when a car is born,
Sarap
I think
talaga.
they would resemble their parents and have similar mechanical systems and technology to them. But since we know vehicles need to grow up and inevitably become full-sized cars, that means they would all eventually need a new body. You see, one consistent idea that was important to the filmmakers when they developed this world is the need to remain true to materials. What this means is that since our world has cars and planes made out of metal, then the vehicles in the world of cars need to have the majority of their body look, feel, and behave
Kanon pa?
like they're made
Na?
out of metal too. So when a car is growing up,
Makanin?
presumably when their organic systems outgrew their adolescent frame, then they would need to enter a new metal body. Now during the
need
age
more
of the
of
dino
this
cars,
food.
I think vehicles
Need more of this rice.
adult frames, which is why their vehicle designs were primitive and required them to be resourceful with accessible materials like rocks, twigs, and vines. I also think it's very possible that vehicles of this time period didn't necessarily construct new bodies each generation. Maybe part of the reason that cars didn't evolve as quickly
Kanin
as
pa?
advanced models was because they would reuse and repair their mechanical exoskeletons and pass them down. And perhaps part of the reason those shells could be so simple was
Pinin mo na.
because maybe at one point they were running without gas. How else could dino cars operate before they had decayed themselves into fossil fuels? Or before corn was grown to produce ethanol? I mean, we've seen Lightning and Mater drink things like zipper coolers, cocktails, and motor
Butin mo
oil.
na, anak.
And we've seen vehicles producing food like sushi. So maybe millions of
Look at my
years ago,
food, too.
vehicles were roaming the world using simpler
do.
fuel sources, which meant that they could have
Ma, you're doing the wrong thing.
but now that all that time
You're
has
getting my
passed,
food
everything
done.
has changed.
I
Now
can't
cars
quit
are
them.
complex machines that are widely accessible.
Ito nga ba yung kanin ko, guys?
In modern times, acquiring an adult vehicle
Ayan.
body has become simple because the majority of vehicles are choosing to purchase mass-produced frames from manufacturers all across the world. And that would explain why race cars are improving at such a rapid pace between generations. When the fabulous Hudson Hornet arrived as a rookie, he was the fastest car of his day. He had a lower center of
Yung anak namin.
rarely overheated,
Oo,
and
bus na rin, oh.
amazingly on dirt tracks. So he started to
Bus na rin yung ano niya, ah.
There were always
Yung kanin niya, favorite niya, na basmati rice.
who were faster, more refined race racers compared to the generation before them. The Lightning's debut season, he was one of the first racers of his generation to start competing, and you can visually see that in his rookie
So may
season.
naiwan pa guys, o tingnan
Crossing
nyo.
the track at harsh angles and a boxy design,
So,
led by a retiring legend in
may bukas pa, may mamaya pa. Lunch time pa lang to guys. Yun lang guys. So, thank you for watching. Yan guys, may naiwan pa. So, thank you everybody sa lahat na nag-subscribe. At sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe, pa-subscribe naman po ng ating channel, Ira De La Rosa Vlogs. Yan, say hi to them anak. Hi! So, God bless everyone. Thank you for watching.
But I do think there are